Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store. Welcome back to another video. This one I'm going to show you how to ship a large amount of comic books safely and securely. The last time I did a video that was like this, it was about a small number of comic books, but this is a larger amount and the things you have to do are a little bit different, and I'm going to show you how you could actually create your own custom box so that you could ship it out safely and securely. Now right here what you see are 32 comic books from the Star Wars series. This is something that sold last night for $55. This is a nice profit, and I want to make sure that it gets to the buyer in the condition that they ordered it in. These are near mint condition books. They are already going to come protected in these bags and boards, and I want to make sure that when I pack them here that they are packed in such a way that they are not going to get damaged by the post office when they go through the mail. Because trust me, if you don't pack them properly, the post office is going to find a way to damage them, and your customer is going to be upset and requesting a refund. Now, while this video applies to comic books, you could apply what I'm teaching you to other items. It's just this one has to do with comic books. So what I would advise doing with these books is when you have a big stack of them, you could see here that they are kind of tilting downwards a little bit, and you don't want that for when they ship because you want the weight to be distributed as evenly as possible. So what you do is you just take the first third layer off like that, you put it to the side, okay? So you then take about the next third and you flip it over like this, okay? And then you take this part, put it right back on top in the original orientation. And now the weight is distributed nicely. Now the next thing that you want to do is you want to take this top book and you want to make sure you flip it over so that all you could see is the board. Because if something ever does happen in terms of pressure that gets exerted on the top of the box, you want to make sure that only the backing board gets affected. You don't want the cover to get affected. That's the most important part of the comic book or of any kind of magazine that someone might be ordering that's collectible if you have a large lot of them. So you see both sides are the back blank board. So now what I want to do is I want to make sure I have them secure in some way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a piece of tape. This is the Tape King tape. You could go to one of my videos to see a review on this tape product. It's excellent, and one of the reasons I like it, especially for comic book orders, is it does not stick to the bag that the comics are in, so that if you pull it off and when the customer pulls it off, it's not going to get damaged. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I already put that on there, but you see, pulls off real easily, no damage to the actual bag that the books are in. So we've got that all set. One side is secure, and now we're going to wrap the other side up. So just go right here, put this right here, wrap that down. Tape gun makes it very convenient. I also have another video, a review of this U-line tape gun if you'd like to see it. Highly recommended. Makes things go a lot faster. This way I don't have to use the scissors to cut the tape. Go like that, down, and there we go. So now those are nice and secure. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to create a base for these to sit on. So I have some ready up here, but I'm going to actually show you how you would just make one. So you just take a larger board like this, and I'm just going to peel this address label that's on the box off of it. Okay, and just going to lay it right up here. And this is one of the reasons you want to have this taped up, because this way you can move these around real easily. So you just kind of size it up here on the board, and you want to give yourself a little bit of room on the margins so that the books have a little bit of room to move around if they moved a little bit. This way they don't get damaged by anything poking on it from the outside. So just give a little room here, and then just cut straight down. These big scissors make it much easier to do. So go get that. Bring this back up. Okay. I like things to be nice and straight, so I'm just gonna snip this right here. All right. Go right here. Turn it. And we'll just do another little cut here. Okay. All right, so this one, just put that down there, scrap. So this one is pretty set. You see here, what we have is there's a nice perimeter, nice margins around each side of it. Now you could pre-cut these in advance to save you time. And for the next piece, there's no need to do what I just did again, because all you have to do is lay this one over here as a template and just cut across a little bit. Just go like that. Then we're gonna go right here and just gonna cut down, and we'll be all set. Okay, so gonna put this right on top of the base. Now I'm gonna take this one, and I'll put it over on the other side. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape this part together right here. So one part right here, overlap it. And right over here, we're gonna overlap this side as well. Okay. And we're gonna get one here. And we're gonna get one right over here. And keep making sure you're recentering the comics in the middle. There we go. All right, now, before I go on to the next steps, a couple mistakes some people will make. Sometimes what people will do is they'll take these comic books, they'll wrap them the way they were, and they'll just put them in the box and they'll just ship it, not protected. Then the books are sloshing around inside and they wind up getting damaged. Or maybe they'll pack it like I just showed you here, and then they'll put them in the box. And what happens is they move around, they break loose, and then these parts start poking through and getting damaged, especially if you didn't leave enough margin around here. But the next step I'm going to show you gives you a little bit, or actually I should say a lot, of extra security. So you're just going to take a loose piece of cardboard that you have around. I just like to keep these scraps around in different sizes. And what I do is I just simply turn it and I line up where the ends of my base are, and I just cut right across here. Okay. So I got this part matched up. Then I go right here, cut straight across, and you'll see what I'm doing in just a second. Now, what I've got is a side for the box. Now, sometimes you want to adjust it a little bit, so you see that kind of overlaps the edge a little bit. So just kind of go like this, just do a little trim to adjust it. Put it on, and now what you do is you just take your tape, you go right over like that, bam, right down like that, you're set. You might have a little overlap here, and then you just snip that part off. Okay, so then you go right here, go right here, and what you're doing is you're basically creating your own custom box. So now we're gonna do this side and go a little faster. Just line it up, cut it, size it up, just Make sure everything looks good. Everything looks good there. Got a little overlap here on the edge, so just snip that off. Okay, and same thing. Put a piece in the middle. Put a piece on this head. And put a piece right over here. So now we got that part covered. All right, so now the only thing we have left is this side here, and that's really easy to handle. You just take another piece of cardboard like I have from up here, and all you do is match it up again. Doesn't take long. Do a quick snip right across. And then line it up right here. Quick snip across. It's all set. One in the middle. One there. One there. And then sometimes what I like to do, just to make the edges join, just go right here. Make it a little nice and secure there. Make it a little nice and secure there. Okay? Now nothing's getting through that's going to damage this. And the only other part left to do is this side right here. So I'll just grab another piece of loose cardboard. And we'll just knock out that other side. And then we'll be all done with our custom box. So, right here. Right here, you see what I'm doing with the scissor? I'm just lining it up right there to where that edge is. I'm just finding that point, and then I just go straight down like this. Now, this is much easier if you have these big giant scissors than using a regular pair of scissors, which will be very, very difficult to cut through cardboard with that. So you want one of these big giant pair of practically like pruning scissors. You can find them on Amazon. And I'll actually put a link to those scissors below in the description section if you want to check them out. It's one of the best investments I ever made. Helps cut through the cardboard so easy. There you go. That's set. Got a little piece of overhang. Snip it. Put that down like that. Put that down like that. Now, I could do this a lot faster without doing the whole explanation and tutorial, but to explain it just takes a little bit longer. And once you get this down into a pattern, it goes a lot faster. For a little extra step of protection, what I like to do is I just take a piece of brown paper and I'll just wrap it up. Just like that. These pieces of brown paper, you know, I just keep them from when they come in the mail in a box. Could be something from Amazon, has brown paper in it, or some kind of other mail order. You know, they find them in shoe boxes all the time. Just unroll them, and then you could reuse them for this type of wrapping and packing. Cover my sides. Okay. A little piece of tape there. Just snip off the other side here. Tuck in the corners. There we go. Another piece here. And another piece here. And just to hold everything together, one more time with the tape. Just go right across the top. Gotta be careful, sometimes it cuts a little bit. It's okay, right there. Right there. We'll go right here. And a little seam here. So we'll just cut that and we'll just tape that part up real quick. So now what you have is a very safe and secure home and protection for your books. I guarantee you these are never going to get damaged. We just do not have anyone sending us any kind of feedback of their comic books getting damaged. And this is why, is the nice extra protection that we give the books. So then you just take them and you put them in another box. So they practically wind up getting double boxed. Now, you just don't want to ship it out like this because then it's going to shake all around. Now, they're probably not going to get damaged if you do that, but still, you don't want them shaking around like that, especially if they're traveling far away. So, you know, what you're going to do is you're just going to take some scrap pieces of paper like this. You're just going to roll them up, and you're going to just get right in there, and you're just going to, you know, protect the inside so it's nice and snug like this. Give it a little padding. Do a little more here. Get some right here. The goal is to try to make sure you're wrapping it around. I'll show you this in a second. You're just trying to wrap it around the edges here. That's all. We'll do another one. Rip these pieces like that. Do another one right here. Stuff it in there. And we'll do another one just to get the other side. And I'll show you what this looks like a little closer in just a second. Take one other piece. Put it right down. Okay, so you see what's happening is you're making sure there's no airspace for these books to move around. So they can't slosh around. You don't want them sloshing around in any way. Just gonna take a couple more pieces just to fill in a few of the air gaps there. And then I will show you the next final step, which is you now have them in there nice and snug. See, they're not really moving, it's not really moving around. But you do have some space here. So all you're gonna do for that next part is you're just gonna take some air cushions, and your air cushions, I'm gonna show you in just a second. These are ones I just have laying around right here. Just put them right up top. You see that doesn't add any extra weight really, and just fits right in there really nicely. Put another one right here. And then another one right here that we could put in there. And probably go for one other one, but I'm gonna just get a little smaller one. I'll show you that right over here. I got another bag with some smaller ones. So just take this little guy right here. Put him right in there. Close it up. And let me just take this piece of tape off. This is a reused box that I wound up getting, so I don't pay anything for the box. And this is really an ideal type of box because if you had to bring it to FedEx, it's great because you don't have to use any brown wrapping paper because FedEx doesn't like to take things with brown wrapping paper. So it's a great type of box, this one right here. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to seal it up right here. Make sure that it's nice and close. There we go. And just line it up here. There we go. Then what I like to do, get this part right here. Put that down. Put it over like that. Now you might be wondering, why am I doing all this taping right here? The reason is, especially in the winter time, these little hole areas could get snow in it and water in it, depending on where the post office employee drops it off. And if that happens and water starts seeping in through these little gaps, you're going to have an upset customer who's asking for a refund, even though you didn't do anything wrong. So you don't want to find yourself in that situation. I like to cross tape to make the box extra secure, but this is what I'm talking about. You know, there's these little gaps here that snow could get into. If the postal employee just leaves it on the porch, snow gets in there, and this tape will create a little bit of a barrier to protect that from happening. Now, you might say, well, what if the postal office worker just lays the whole box in the snow? Well, they could do that, and then ordinarily might cause a problem, but in this situation it's not, because I've basically double boxed it. So now you see here I have a box that's very safe and secure. Nothing is shaking or moving around inside of it. You can hear it's nice and safe and secure in there. And this is all set to go, all set to be shipped, all set to be packed out. So I hope this video helped you in understanding how you would just make a simple custom box for your comic books or other items that you might want to sell out or ship out. And if you like this video, please make sure that you punch that like button down below. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel that I'm running here, and those subscriptions are real important to tell me that you like these videos and that you want to see more of them. Make sure you come back and check out other videos. I'm going to put a link again down below in the description section to the awesome scissors that I use to help cut through that cardboard. I'm going to put a little link to a video on how to pack and safely ship some smaller orders of comic books, so you could see that one. And hope you come back to check out more videos. Thanks, everybody.